Hello and welcome to the Ski Summit Real Estate Show number 74, where we're going to talk about what's important to buying and living in Colorado. Plus, we're going to take a look at top 5 new listing picks. I'm your host, Matt Dayton, Cornerstone Real Estate. I'm here with Benji, my producer and live stream sidekick. Benji does. Hey, Benji.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you doing?
I could be better, but I'm around my family, so it's good.
Click your heels, go to Kansas and see Benji.
Yeah, you better have good shoes on.
Sparkly red. So today's show, we're going to touch on some topics with our guest, Sean Butson. We're going to look at workforce housing stuff, talk a little bit about that, deed restriction, T-bills, and then whose fault is it? Why is real estate so expensive? So who can we point the finger at? But Sean Benson is the president of DC Capital Management. It's a wealth manager that offers investment management to comprehensive financial planning to clients across the country. He's Wall Street Journal award-winning stock analyst and a chartered financial analyst. So CFA, which is the highest designation that you can achieve in investment management. So wealth and knowledge. Sean and his wife live with their 3 kids in Dillon, and a good friend of mine and a good resource. Sean, thanks for being here with us today.
Thanks, Matt and Benji. Glad to be here.
Thanks
Yeah,
for joining
glad you
us.
got you on, man. I know you got a busy schedule, so appreciate it. And fighting Montezuma's revenge. So
It's been a rough week, but I'm turning the corner.
good. Glad you're upright and doing all right. So, but well, thanks for being on with us today. You know, you and I talked here before this, and I mean, I feel like we probably could have come up with 10 subjects, but it's just consistently like right now there's so many things that are going on. So many changes in where people should put their money. Is it real estate? Is it, where is it like that right now? I mean, I'm going to say it's real estate because I see it's like guaranteed, it's tangible. It's something I understand. But what are you seeing people do with their money right now that have it?
Well, what I'm encouraging clients to do more and more is not only to maintain their long-term investment discipline, whether that's stocks, bonds, cash, gold, real estate, starting a business. Those are the primary ways we see people accumulate wealth over long periods of time. But in addition to that, be very careful with how they invest their cash. There are still over $10 trillion in U.S. consumer deposits at banks earning less than 1%. When at the same time, the investment that many professional investors like me consider the safest asset in the entire world, which is U.S. Treasury bills, is yielding about 5.3%.
Yeah.
And so you'd say, why would someone keep their cash in a bank, which technically is riskier than a T-bill, to yield much less? And the answer is really just financial education. And so we spend a lot of time with our clients explaining to them, hey, not only can you earn 5 times as much interest or more, but you can do it in a safer way.
Yeah. No, that is, you told me like a while back, I think treasury bonds were they at like 9% at one point?
Well, a few years ago, when inflation started taking off, there was increased interest in something called Series I Treasury bonds that you buy directly from the Treasury Department. And they were 30-year Treasury bonds, but instead of yielding only a few percentage points, they were yielding over 9% because they are based on a fixed rate plus an inflation rate. And the inflation rate had jumped up dramatically. Those Treasury I bonds are now yielding below 4%, so they're not nearly as attractive.
Yeah.
But for the last few years, they were very attractive. And we counseled our clients to go buy as much as they could from the Treasury Department website.
So what you're saying is if you want safe and secure and good return on your money, buy T-bonds. But if you want to have fun with your money and play with it, buy a ski condo. Is that what you're saying? Because I think that's what I heard.
I think what I'm saying is in a diversified portfolio, there are different assets that you will own, right? There are risky assets, there are moderately risked assets, and there are low risk assets. And so for the money that you're keeping in cash in case you lose your job,
Yeah.
or you're saving for a near-term expense like a new car or a house down payment or something like that, and you want to keep it really safe with very low volatility, T-bills are great.
Yeah.
And for the most part, they're better than almost any online bank savings account rate that I can find. Now, for the money that you don't need for decades and you're willing to live with some volatility, then great. Real estate's great. Stocks are great. Maybe even a small amount in cryptocurrency. But whatever you're going to invest your money in, you need to understand what you own, right? Like you would never counsel your clients to buy a piece of real estate without them seeing it and understanding the property taxes and the insurance and the maintenance and the regulations and the HOA. Same way with the stock and bond market. You would never want to go out and just buy something because you saw a headline about it on some financial website.
Right.
You would want to make sure you understood what you were buying.
Well, and I think you also speak well to like the liquidity of it. I mean, it's an average days on market for Summit County right now for real estate is 40 days. It's like, well, I needed that cash like 30 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely, well, that's good advice. I wish I had taken more of your advice back. When I could have.
It's never too late to start.
That's right. So, so we talked a little bit about workforce housing up here, because that's been a huge topic. And I thought you had some good insight on that, just as far as, is that the solution? Because we don't have enough housing for our workforce.
Yeah, we don't have enough housing, and there are a couple of big reasons why. Number one, the National Forest Service owns the vast majority of the land, right? Number two, we're surrounded by mountain passes on three sides, essentially. So even if there is housing on the other side of the passes, it can be very difficult getting to work in the winter, right? And number three, as we talked about, COVID was really an economic bomb that went off, not just in Summit County, but across the world. And what I mean by that is there were now millions of people, many at fairly high salaries, who could now live in Summit County and work for companies all over the world.
Yeah.
And that's been the case over the last few decades since the internet was created several decades ago. But that process got dramatically accelerated by the work from home movement.
It was forced.
That was forced by COVID.
Yeah.
And so now you have all these factors kind of coming together all at once, and they're creating a demand for housing so far above supply that, as far as I know, we haven't seen before, not only in Summit County, but in many resort areas all over the world, right?
Yeah.
And the local towns are working towards how do we create a better balance between supply and demand. And creating workforce housing is a laudable goal, and I should say affordable workforce housing, right? Because there is housing available, but is it affordable to people? To some people, but not to others. And so I credit these towns with trying to create a solution, but sometimes I wonder if we're spending the money in the right places. So, for example, last week I saw there's a new workforce housing development in Breckenridge. There's 35 units available, and they got over 500 applications. So if you're one of the lucky 7%, yay, you get a place that hopefully you can afford. But what if you're in the 93%?
Right.
Well, good luck. Try on the next lottery.
Yeah.
And I guess the point I'm making is maybe those dollars are better spent in lower cost real estate. So if I was a young person coming here and I was just starting my career and I was not making a whole lot of money just yet, but I wanted to live here, would I rather have a 7% chance of living very close to where I work, or say a 70% chance, but I'd have to commute 10 miles?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or 20 miles, whatever the number is? Me personally, I'd say I would much rather get the higher percentage chance, even if it meant I had to commute a little farther to work.
And the commute's beautiful.
And the commute's beautiful. And there are no mountain passes north of Silverthorne.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
At least not on this side of Kremling.
It seems like it would make more sense to do,
right.
And
so Aspen, for example, and some other Roaring Fork cities have decided that they're going to contribute money to a not-for-profit that is going to help build affordable workforce housing, not Slopeside in Aspen, but in Basalt and Carbondale and beyond. And I would argue that that is a much, much better use of funds, using that money in much lower cost real estate where you can provide more housing.
Yeah. So no, it totally makes sense. I mean, why, if you can't put the cheapest real estate structure on the most expensive lot.
Right.
It just doesn't work that way.
Right. And if you force developers to do that, you're only going to get a few units.
Yeah. And it's forced economics. It doesn't seem to make sense. So
yes.
Yeah. Which brings us, to the next subject is, we got deed restricted properties, and somebody comes in and they're a young couple or whatever, and they can get this deed restricted property, and they're like, oh, I can get 3 bedrooms for this, or I've got this property that is not deed restricted, that's just a little tiny studio. So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, look, if I moved here almost 20 years ago when I was in my 30s. And so I had my career mostly established by then. Right. And so I was fortunate that I didn't have to choose between the deed restricted and non-deed restricted. But if I had moved here in my early 20s at a lower income level and earlier in my career, the deed restricted one certainly would be attractive. And what I'm here to tell you is you need to think twice about that. I know a lot of the towns like to push the deed restricted units and make more available, and they may look really attractive in the short term because you can afford a bigger place. But in the long run, they may not be what's best for you. And I say that as a wealth manager who has spent decades investing money for people and building financial plans for them. And when I say building financial plans, what I mean is we project assets, liabilities, income, and expenses for clients out to the end of their life. We go out to age 100, but we can go beyond that if we like to. And when we do that, what we can see in the projections, and then also working with retired clients, is that their home equity is a huge source of liquidity when it's time for them to move on to assisted living, if they so choose. And a lot of people do, particularly in Summit County. Even if you don't go directly to assisted living, a lot of people are forced to move out of Summit County in their 70s and 80s because of the oxygen and elevation levels, right? Wouldn't it be nice when you sell your home in Summit County that you have a large amount of home equity that you can use to buy a house somewhere else for cash, or to pay for assisted living that can easily cost over 6 figures a year? And where I'm going with this is, if you do buy a deed restricted unit, there are very low caps on annual inflation or appreciation on the unit. So you could own it for 10 or 20 years. And when you sell it, you get very little home equity out of the house that then you can use for other purposes. So if you're planning to buy a place here and live here for just a couple years, 2, 3, 4 years, maybe it's not that big of a difference. But if you're talking about decades of home appreciation, it can be a very material difference to your long-term financial plan.
Thanks for touching on that. That makes a lot of sense. And I try to explain from the standpoint of getting that appreciation and the step up for each property that, you buy that little condo, and then, you start making more money, and you can kind of step your way up in real estate up here. But I never really thought about that long-term care piece. And I mean, most of us, let's admit it, it's like my house is a big part of my retirement plan. So.
It is. And of course, we counsel our clients, look, you need to save in your 401ks and IRAs, and you need to have other sources of income for retirement other than your house so that you can support yourself while you're in your house, because Social Security for most people doesn't come even close to paying their living expenses. So this would be even beyond then. Like, well, okay, let's say we run through our liquid investments and we need to tap our home equity to pay for additional retirement expenses. That's how we see as being a backstop for a bunch of our clients that, hey, we're projecting your liquid assets are going to run out when you're 85. But by then you should have a few million in home equity that can pay for the remaining retirement expenses that might include assisted living.
No, that's a great explanation of it. So would you surmise, like, who in your opinion would be the one to blame, to point the finger at, for our crazy home prices? Like, why? If we can go, who can we point our finger at?
Well, I think as we were chatting earlier, it was not only the COVID economic bomb that I described with people making well into the six figures who now don't have to commute 4 hours round trip to Silicon Valley from their home, right? They can live here, they can live in Monaco, they can live in Malibu, wherever they want to live. And as long as their boss lets them work remote, they can drive up the real estate prices in those places. And so that was part of it. The other part of it that you mentioned that I agree with is the many years of extremely low interest rates. And so we all know that's dramatically changed recently, largely due to inflation and the Federal Reserve trying to reduce inflation by raising interest rates. But for many years, interest rates were so low. I mean, I can tell you on my house, my mortgage is at 2 3/8. I will never make an early payment on that mortgage, right? I will never pay that mortgage off early. Why? Because not only is it extremely low, but it's also tax deductible. So what am I really paying on my mortgage? 1.5% a year after tax?
Yeah.
Can I make more than 1.5% after tax by investing the money that I would otherwise make extra payments? I hope so. I do it for a living. I better be able to do that, right?
Right.
So that was a big part of it as well, the low interest rate. So I think it's really easy to point fingers at the town governments and at the short-term renters and at other people. But those two things, more than anything, I think are what has caused the dramatic real estate appreciation, not only in Summit County, but in other desirable places around the world.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. And everybody, whether it's as short-term rentals or realtors charge too much or whatever it may be, it's like ultimately, that's the best explanation of it. So this petition that's been going around here in Dillon, you live in Dillon.
I live in Dillon.
This has been kind of the talk of the town lately. I was getting a phone call or text the other day. I don't even live in Dillon, and I was getting a text, who do you know that lives in Dillon that we could have sign this petition? And so what, I mean, is this, are we barking up the wrong tree, or is this a good thing or what?
Well, let me give you a short background. About 4 years ago, the first COVID summer, my quiet little street Gold Run Circle turned into the Indianapolis 500 because people from the cities were flocking up here on the weekends, and Google was routing people that were renting kayaks to come down my street instead of going to the Dillon Marina parking lot. And when you combine that with the fact that the Ice Castles was destroying our town park every year, myself and a handful of other neighbors formed something called the Dillon Neighborhood Coalition. And we got the attention of a lot of our neighbors and put a lot of pressure on the town council here in Dillon regarding those two specific issues, right? And fortunately, those two specific issues were resolved amicably. But what came out of that was I now have an email list of over 100 neighbors here in Dillon, and we share ideas, and we try to keep each other up to date on what's going on. And so this issue with the Lakefront Hotel, I've shared out of, I think, dozens of emails with neighbors. They send me ideas and I email them out. If I was more tech savvy, we'd have it on a some sort of social media, but people tell me they don't want it on Facebook. They want it to be private. So I act as the hub for ideas, and people send them to me, and then I forward them to the neighborhood. And when this lakefront hotel project came up, it's been going on for a year and a half in development, but the town meeting about it that approved it was I think just a month and a half ago. And so what's come out of it was a lot of people are really passionate about keeping Dillon kind of small and quaint instead of us having a large branded residence hotel. Okay. And I can appreciate that passion. I mean, when I moved to Summit County, I moved to Dillon for a reason. I like the fact that it was small and quiet, right? Nothing wrong with Breck. I love going out to Breck. I love going there for dinner and going out to après ski. But in terms of where I wanted to live, I wanted small and quiet. Okay. And this hotel is larger and noisier.
Yeah.
But something I wanted to mention was the developer behind the project, and actually any developer, if they bought that parcel, they could build a hotel there that is shorter and wider with more units. And there's very little the town could do about it, because doing so wouldn't require any variances. This developer has asked for a variance on height to go, depending on how you count it, 1 to 2 stories taller. And he's asked for a variance on having retail and restaurants. And because of that reason, the town had to approve it. And the town council approved it, but a number of neighbors weren't really happy with that decision. And so they circulated a petition that appears to have gotten enough signatures. And as long as those are certified by the town, there will be a referendum vote sometime in the next few months. And so one more comment on that. One thing I like to just educate people about, and I have my personal opinions about the hotel that are don't really matter. What matters is keeping the hotel as the Best Western is almost certainly not going to happen.
Right.
Because the owners want to retire and they want to get their money, and their asking price is high enough that I don't think it would be possible for someone to buy it and run it as is.
Yeah.
Right?
We're not going to get a little quaint mom and pop shop there.
No, I don't think so, because they want over 20 million for it, and that's their right.
Yeah.
They've spent decades working, and it's their right to realize the appreciation, right?
Yeah.
And the town doesn't have 20 plus million lying around to make it a park. So
Yeah.
So what I would tell folks out there, if you live in Dillon and you get to vote on this referendum, or if you don't live in Dillon and you're trying to influence the referendum, some of the petition organizers don't live in Dillon, as a matter of fact, and they can't vote. And so, which is fine. You have every right to start a petition, whether you live here or not. What I would educate people on is the choice is not this development or a park or running the Best Western as it is. The choice is probably this project or another hotel that's shorter and wider with no view corridor down Lake Dillon Drive, very little green space, no restaurants, and very little ability for the town to influence the final project if the developer comes back with a plan that does not require any variances.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. And yeah, you got to be careful what you wish for, because yeah, you may not end up getting what you thought you were going to get. So
right, you may end up. Let's say this development is voted down via the referendum. You may end up getting something at the end that you like even less.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think about some of those condos right there that, they've got more with this plan. They've got more green space, more view corridor. They may not get that.
Right. And importantly, something I didn't mention, the developer under the current plan has offered to give $700,000 to the town to account for lost sales tax during the construction period. Now, at the town council meeting, some of the council members were complaining about the fact that there was no workforce housing in the hotel. As we discussed previously, putting workforce housing on the most expensive real estate in whatever town you're in doesn't make a lot of sense.
Right.
Because you can ascribe a certain dollar value to each of those units, and that dollar value, in my opinion, can be better used on cheaper real estate.
Yeah.
But in addition to that, I would say to the town, the developer is giving you $700,000. If you want to use it on workforce housing somewhere else, go ahead, right? Like, it's your choice. It's your money. In a revised development proposal, the developer may not offer that money, in which case there would not be extra money in the interim to support workforce housing elsewhere.
Well, I just think that all this developer needs to do is spend 1 week up here in May, and he won't come back.
Well, one thing I'm working on that I haven't really made public is, unfortunately, due to all the quasi-judicial proceedings at the town meetings, there has not really been a forum for the developer to conduct Q&A directly with the residents.
Okay.
The town meeting involved the residents making comments and asking questions, but the developer was not allowed to respond to those one for one and have a back and forth.
Okay.
One thing that I think might be really valuable, and now I've come to understand is required in Denver, even before developers submit plans to towns, is that the developer meets with the citizens first
Yeah.
to find out
just learn more
to
about
to find out what they really care about. And so I think what might be really helpful is if the developer came here and rented out some space and had a Q&A directly with the townspeople and tried to compromise with them on what they really care about.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that would make a lot of sense. So, no, well, thank you for sharing the insight on that, because I did not know the inner workings of it, not being a resident of Dillon and not being as involved as you are. So that's really great insight. So, well, awesome. Well, Sean, thanks for being on the show today. Appreciate the wisdom and the insight and being a part of this. So
Yeah, thanks, Matt. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
yeah, we'll get you back on again sometime soon.
Okay. See you
All right,
guys.
take care. See ya.
Yeah, thanks for joining. What an awesome guest. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he's a wealth of knowledge. Definitely a wealth
I was
of knowledge.
listening to you guys talk about that hotel project, and it was just like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And then the argument last week that the developer had on that news article, I was like, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
just
So
such a great interview.
yeah, no, there definitely could be some unintended consequences of putting the kibosh on these plans. So I don't know. I think Sean's wise. It's like I know he's got his opinions on it, but he's good just present the information. So yeah, but awesome.
All right. We've got MLS check and market updates. Which one of well, let's do market updates. Are you ready for that?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So we got market updates coming. Are you going to share your screen with us?
You know what? I had something going on here, so I'll just tell you about it.
All right.
So yeah, so we're over a little over 450 properties right now on the market. So we're seeing more stuff come on the market. That's definitely ramping up for our inventory, which has been really good. We're seeing a lot more options for people. The past year has been a lot more flat as far as the number of sales that we've seen. Inventories or the number going under contract, the number of sales has been fairly flat. We saw that come down with all the interest rates going up, like Sean talked about. When you could get a 2.25%, 2.5% interest rate, I mean the sales are going crazy. Prices were going way up, and now we saw that number of sales go down. We're pretty flat for the past year. Inventory is going up. Days on market is taking a little bit longer to sell properties. So that means that we're seeing that needle shift a little bit more toward buyer's market. Buyers are getting a little bit more opportunity in this market to negotiate a little bit better. And there's a lot of buyers are just on the fence and waiting for rates to come down. My opinion right now is if you can figure out a way to make it work and do it and you're going to pay those higher rates right now, get into it while the demand is lower, because that's where the opportunities are. Everybody's kind of standing on the sidelines. Get in the pool and start swimming.
I was waiting for you to say something else.
Oh yeah.
Don't do it now.
Nah, it's too late. It's too late.
All right. That brings us to the MLS check. We've got 5 new properties to take a look at. I'll pull those up right now. Our first one is a condo, $1.1 million in Breckenridge.
Yeah, so these guys, right in the kind of in the heart of Breckenridge, you're going to have great opportunities in that zone 1. So for short-term rentals, which is good. And then in addition, it says a Park Place condo is what these are. You got the amphitheater right across the street. So right over across, you got the little roundabout, and then the big building there with the shiny roof. That's the amphitheater. Yep. So it used to be called the Madonna Dome.
Madonna Dome.
Yeah, it was like 2 big tents that like anyway. So
I totally get it now. The Madonna
yeah,
Dome.
they
All
got
right.
rid of the
That was in
Madonna Dome.
the 90s.
Yeah. So anyway, it was 2 big tents, but that's a great location right there. And walk right across the Riverwalk. You're downtown Main Street. It's a really good spot.
I like the way they did this this room. It looks really nice.
Yeah. No, it's good space. They've got it updated. I like just the neutral color paint that they went with the white trim. Keeps it really simple and easy to just decorate. That was a nice shower.
Yeah.
Updated all that. No, it looks good.
Yeah, I like
Subway
the
tiles.
subway tiles everywhere. That's nice.
Yeah.
This is a little interesting.
So we've got a robot arm there. It helps you.
You're trying to get laundry out. It just slaps your hand away.
It's right next to the
I'll try
toilet. It's a bathroom assistant.
Don't you dare.
Would you like mint, sir?
That's too fun. You're giving out mints in the bathroom?
With the robot laundry.
All right, here's the next one. This is a single family residence for $1.8 million in Silverthorne.
Yeah, so views, and more views. So the nice thing about being on this side of the valley is you're looking across at the Gore Range, which is just awesome. So you're gonna have just incredible sunsets from there.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
This isn't golf course, is it?
No, that's just all kind of just open fields and stuff.
Open fields.
Yeah.
Is this like a faux log cabin?
It's looks like it's got rounds on the inside, so I think it's a full round log cabin.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Actually, though, that's a great question because those could be. No, I think it's actually. You're right. It would be a faux log cabin.
Well, it's a good looking cabin.
Yeah, it is good, and
Look at that deck. Oh my gosh.
Those views are where the views are money. That big deck, you got lots of sun on that thing.
Yeah.
So nice open space too. It's big,
Yeah.
Big open. That's actually, and that property is going to sell. I think that's a great value.
This screams Colorado mountains.
Yeah. 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 Just the location in it.
It's a good looking house. Is this the Gore Range you were talking about?
That's the Gore Range. So you got the Horn there, you got Buffalo. Yeah, it's definitely definitely got some of the best views in Summit County.
Look at that. Basement's all done.
Wow.
Good looking place.
Yep. Nice big space. They got a big garage in there. Yep. Location. So that's, for 4-bedroom, 3,100 square feet, $1.8 million with huge views. I think somebody will jump on that.
Dueling decks.
Oh, yeah.
That's an awesome place. All right, 3 left. It's another single family for $2.625 in, where is this? Keystone.
Yep. Jumping over to Keystone. Short-term rental opportunity here. So that's great. This is right on the river. So years back, I sold the house right next door to this one, but goes, Snake River right there, overlooks the bike path. Yeah. The brown roofed one. Yeah. That one. Yeah. It's a cool log home. It's interesting. It's a whitewashed log home. That was kind of,
that is cool.
Unique. So, but yeah, this house, great spot, great location, easy access to Keystone skiing, the golf course right there.
Yep.
Yep. So you can go do some night putting with Chevy Chase.
I got to take a look at this house. Very pretty. This is interesting. I don't think I've seen a roof like that.
Yeah, that's like a double roof over the entry. Kind of interesting. Gonna get kind of that south facing deck off the back.
It's a mega deck.
That is a mega deck.
Beautiful entryway.
Yeah, kind of more of a traditional style.
Oh, I get it now. That roof kind of comes down. It's got a hole through it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you keep
through.
That's an interesting architectural feature.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
That is nice. Yeah, much more traditional looking style. With the pillars, the white.
Oh, look what they did to the cabinets in the kitchen here. That's really cool.
You got some. I think I would have a hard time keeping that just looking good, though.
You have a dog, right? Do you have more than one dog?
Just one dog.
Just the one dog?
Just Yeti.
I'd
have like a blender in there.
A blender. Hey, this is a good library.
Ooh, the ladder in the library. I love
this.
Those
This is
things.
cool.
Just want to be able to like ride one of those.
The library ladder?
Yeah.
They should make that be like one of those rides at the Hogwarts thing in Disneyland.
Yeah. Kick one foot out, do like Mary Poppins or something. Some gold in the kitchen. I know this is a little bit older house. This is but the gold they got there, it's made full circle.
Oh yeah, okay.
Those little gold features. We've seen that come back. I know that wasn't, doesn't look like that's a new thing, but they brought that. It
looks like
full circle
bridge in the
bridge
top floor as well.
Is that bridge?
Yeah.
Is that confounded bridge?
Can you imagine having a bridge troll in your own house? You forgot to fold the laundry.
And Keystone, you have to have your bridge troll. No, that's a good looking place. So built in 92. You can definitely see that it was built in 92. It's definitely has a lot.
It screams 92 and Colorado skiing.
Yes.
Are we in the basement?
I guess. Yeah, because it's going to be, it's a downsloping lot. So you come in, most of the stuff's going to be on the main floor, and then you got, down floor or downstairs, and it looks like walkout basement situation. So
look at the size of this carpet.
It's a big rug.
It is huge.
So my dad's dog got into porcupines one time.
Oh no.
Yeah. And he didn't, first time he took him to the vet, dog did it again. This time he just rolled him up in a big rug and pulled him. Dog didn't do it again.
Oh no.
Yeah. No.
Where did he find a porcupine?
We've got porcupines all over up here. Dogs get into them. Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought that.
He had to make a mess of a dog's face.
Man.
Yeah. Yep.
It probably hurts so bad.
Yeah, that you think that dog would have only done it once,
Right. All right. Coming in at 3.975. This is 300 Elk Circle in Keystone.
Another Keystone one.
This thing is. Why do I do that? I always call the houses things, don't I?
This is a sweet thing.
This sweet thing right here. We need a leather jacket.
This sweet thing.
Oh, and we're on the golf course. Look at that.
Right on the golf course. Yeah.
That is so cool.
Right on the golf course.
Right next to the sand trap.
5,500 square feet. Yeah. Although.
Very nice.
Yeah. They run a risk, with the golfer like me, though. Got a wicked hook. That's a nice looking place. So that's built in 2021. So pretty new.
Yeah. Is this metal siding?
Or
cladding, or what do they call that?
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to tell if it's just.
This looks like a metal / shingle.
Yeah, the metal seamless roof there. Yep. So a little bit of that.
Love the entryway. Man, look at that.
That's pretty.
That's really nice. I've just got to keep clicking.
Just invites you in.
It's really, really nice. Man.
Now you see these fireplaces like this, and I think it's just like big tiles or something, but they always look so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking right out on the golf course.
Great space. There's that bridge again upstairs.
The bridges are in. Although I don't know what that oak cabinet is doing in there.
Oak cabinet.
There's like an oak cabinet right
Oh,
there.
this guy back here?
Yeah, I'm not sure on that, but just me.
It's got them keepsakes.
Definitely draws my eye.
Is this a microwave?
Oven? I don't know.
Or microwave?
Dumbwaiter?
Well, they've got they've got the ultimate stovetop.
Yeah. How many burners on that thing?
Put the range over the head of this thing. If you're
That is
buying
cool.
this, you are cooking.
You better make use of that kitchen.
Oh,
That
look at
is
this.
sweet.
Is this second kitchen?
No, it's just a different angle, right? Oh, back in the closet there.
Yeah. What is going on in
Oh,
there?
like a little butler's pantry type thing.
Oh,
Yeah. Cool.
this place is loaded.
Keep your butler in there.
Look at look at these shutters. That's cool.
Oh yeah. To outfit a house with blinds.
Mhm.
I mean, you're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars for
Yeah.
a house like this. So if I'm ever buying a house for $4 million, remind me to check and see if it has blinds.
Yeah. This is such a great space. I love looking at all these things.
That is, yeah, cool.
Tons of great
Open
angles,
ceilings. They are. That's fun. That's really fun.
Yeah, they did a really, really awesome job on this.
There's your gold.
Gold fixtures, you called it, didn't you?
No, right?
It is coming back.
And it pops. It looks so cool.
It kind of, especially with the white. It doesn't look dated either.
No, it
Looks
doesn't.
very good.
It doesn't. It totally pops. They did a lot of gold in this one.
Yeah.
A lot of bling.
There's some more gold for you.
There's your sunsets. There's your Colorado sunsets.
So beautiful.
Absolutely.
Awesome bunk beds.
Hey,
We're here, some over there.
they're a little small. Those look small for you, though.
Oh, yeah, not for me. Yeah, the gold is really good. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Yeah, and it doesn't take over the whole house. You still got decent.
Yeah, they don't do it everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in the bathroom fixtures, it looks amazing. Now that is a
Very cool.
basement.
That's a cool basement. I like that. Just kind of the relief in the ceiling there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's cool.
Well, let's push the button. Yeah, I was gonna push the button and think, oh, there's the lighters.
Oh yeah, no
green, purple, blue lights up in the ceiling.
Yeah, that would be. You got to have those LED lights. They can do that easy.
Or the galaxy lights. Have you seen that where they put all the starlights in with fiber optics?
Oh yeah, people are doing that in cars and stuff too.
There it is. There's my bunk bed.
That's more your size.
Yeah, I won't break that one.
Yeah.
I like the fence. Is this the fence for the
golf course? Yeah.
Golf course?
Yeah. Yeah, kind of has a cool ranch feel. Yeah.
There it is.
Outdoor fire pit.
There's your hot tub.
Hot tub.
Oh, we are in Colorado, aren't we?
There's your rainbow. Just a single rainbow, not a double rainbow.
Yeah, no, we don't want to oversell the house. We're not trying to start some bidding war.
Yeah. Cool. Let's skip on to the next one.
All right, let's get to the next one. Final house. How many square feet is this one?
This is 9,000 plus square footer.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. 6 bed, 5 bath.
Next to the golf course.
Yeah. It's kind of a golf course theme going on here.
Yeah.
Summit Estates. So this is a big old log house. I've actually been in this house before. It was on the market before. So they got it listed for, it's listed for 6.25. They had it, these guys bought it in, when did they buy it? 2019.
Look at that.
Yeah.
I'm getting like Dumb and Dumber vibes for that Aspen house that they had.
Yeah. Yeah.
They had the big river rocks and it had these.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that totally. Mary lived in a
double
house.
Doors. Yeah.
Mary lived in a house like that. The bathroom
Samsonite.
Samsonite. That was way off. That's got some views though.
Look
Is
at that.
beautiful views. Gosh, look at that.
I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that's pretty. It's got big views on the Peaks Range. So, and they guess what this sold for in 2019.
2019.
Yeah.
How old is this place?
It was built in 99. Sold in 2019 was the last sale.
$2.5 million.
Close, actually.
Really?
2 3/4.
Oh, I probably would have won my showcase if we were on Pricey Right.
Yeah, it was not bad, man. Shooting from the hip, that was pretty good.
9,000 square feet.
Yeah.
This is bigger than a Walmart. So huge.
This just goes on and on.
Yeah.
I love these big logs. I've always been, I told you, I think, the story about my family doing the log lathe thing and building log cabins and stuff.
I don't know. I don't recall.
Yeah, we had a big lathe that would turn logs,
Mhm.
and we could build cabins with like Lincoln logs. It was cool. So we were taking all these trees that were getting killed by the Beatles, not the band, the
You
pine
beat me.
beetles,
You beat me.
and we'd turn these things and kill the beetle and use the log because the beetle killed the tree. So it was repurposing stuff. So yeah, for another episode, talk about pine beetles.
Pine Beetles.
There actually is a band called Pine Beetles.
Are they British?
They're not British. They're more just mountain men.
There we go. Awesome theater time.
Yeah, nice theater.
We don't see enough of these,
No, we need to get more theaters and houses. Maybe we'd do a show just for theaters.
We need to find a theater installer out there and get them on.
I know one. I know a good theater installer. Yes.
Nice.
I should get them on here.
We'll talk about ambient light reduction screens.
Yeah. All the stuff I know nothing about.
I built my own home theater a few years ago, and it was a lot of fun.
Very cool.
Yeah. What a lovely 9,000 square foot mega deck house.
I love that. I love that view, that deck. Look at that. A little whiskey out on the deck at night. Fire. Okay. Sold.
Sold. What's the price for this one?
It's six. What is it?
6,245. Well, that's it.
Just rolls off. So awesome. Thanks, Benji. Have fun with the family out there in Kansas, and hopefully no houses land on you in the meantime. So
hopefully. All right.
Good to see you. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. This has been the Ski Summit Real Estate Show. Hope you enjoyed it. Please give us a thumbs up, leave us a like. We'd always appreciate it, but we really appreciate you being here. Have a wonderful day.